and welcome to this session. This is a back and core session specifically aimed for ladies in the menopause and perimenopause. I'm Kirsty and I'm going to be taking you through this session today. Okay, so for this session, I'm going to be using some weights. I've got some 5 kilos and some 3 kilo weights that I'm going to be using. I'm also going to be using my body weight today. If you don't have weights, you don't have to use weights. But if you do have weights, then you can join in with me. Use anything from around the house if you want to use weights and you don't have any dumbbells. That is going to be where we're going with this. It's functional exercise, so you can just use stuff from around the house. Just please make sure that you are safe. First thing we're going to be doing to warm up those muscles in our chest, back and spine, just going to be rolling the shoulders back. So give your shoulders a nice roll. You treat yourself here to easing some of that tension off. Good, so rolling those shoulders and then start to come into a bigger circle, squeezing the shoulder blades together as you go. Good. Okay, next thing we're going to do is bring your arms out so you've got a right angle in the elbows, and then just move the hands out a little bit more and then squeeze in. So we're going to do what we call a W stretch. I'm sure it has a more complicated name, but this is what I just call it, the W stretch. So squeezing the shoulder blades together and holding, and then out and hold. So you're getting into your chest here and into your back. Start to really engage your tummy muscles as well now. We're going to be getting going with this session properly in just a second, but it's so important to warm up the shoulders, the back, and all of those postural muscles that we're going to be using today in this workout. Okay, we ready? Let's get down to the mat. We're going to be working through a bridge or a high plank. So, into your bridge position. Now, your bridge position might look like this in a box bridge position, or you might be up into the full bridge. Either one of those may be too difficult for you, in which case use a solid raised surface and you can come here instead, okay? So work to your level. Always work to your level. It's your level. You don't need to be worried about which level you're at. Just work to your level. So in your bridge position, we are literally just going to hold. So holding that bridge position, making sure that your wrist, elbow and shoulder are stacked and that your hips are nice and straight. We've not got the hips down here and we're not all the way up here. If you're in your box position and you're not sure if you're doing it right, then come into a tabletop position here, step the knees out, push the hips forwards, okay? That's how you find your box. So holding into that bridge, we've already been holding for around about 15 seconds or so while I've been chatting away. So we'll hold for another 15. And just getting everything fired up and ready for the next couple of exercises to come. So the next few exercises are just body weight, 2, 1, and rest. Give those wrists a little shake off. If you find that the wrists are a bit sore after doing any weight bearing through the wrists, you can push your palms together and push the back of your hands together. Just give them a little move around, let the blood get into there. Lots of people say, oh, I've got really weak wrists, but actually it's probably that you're just not used to using them. So coming into these kinds of weight bearing exercises really does put some pressure onto those wrists. So just move them around a bit, see what you can do. Okay, next exercise, we're going to use that bridge position, whether you are on your knees or onto your toes, and we're going to do what's called a Superman. So just arm out in front, arm out in front. And it does not have to be quick, okay? We're going to be working through making sure that you're not tipping as you're going, okay? So really strong and straight, okay? You with me now? 2, 1, let's go. Now I should say, and I usually have said by this point, I'm recording this as a live session, so I've got some lovely ladies on with me today. See if I can run through everybody. I've got Sean, I've got Lexi, I've got Susanna, I've got Jane, I've got Sarah D, and I've got Sarah W as well. So welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you are all well. Well, I know they're all well because I've spoken to them all already. But it's so nice to have them here. 2, 1, and rest. So hopefully by pulling that arm away, you felt a bit more into that core. As you were moving, you're coming onto an unstable surface. We're going to go through and we're going to do another exercise and then we're going to link them all together. Okay, so just looking in again, into the bridge position. I'm going to tap the back of my hand to the small of my back and are going to come back in. So back of the hands, small of the back, come back in. Now, your body's going to want to tip. Don't let that happen. Use your core to make sure that you are dead still. Okay? Not as easy as it looks, but give it a try. And if you're really struggling, come onto your knees. Okay? And you can do exactly the same thing. Ready to go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So 30 seconds here. And remember, you can, of course, use your raised surface. You don't have to use the mat if you can't get down onto the mat. If you're finding the weight bearing difficult. Okay, but this is going to be a really good way getting into the core, into the back, into the shoulders. And that is obviously what we're focusing on today. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay. Well, my ab muscles, they're definitely feeling slightly warm now. They're definitely warming up. I'm gonna do an exercise where we link the two together. We're gonna link the Superman into the back touch. So we're gonna do it on the same side. So in your bridge position, just looking in for a sec while you rest, you're gonna go Superman, touch, back, then swap. Superman, just touching back, back, then touch. Okay, so just working through that forwards and slight rotation into those shoulders, opening up into the back and holding into the tummy. Okay, either onto your knees, raised surface, or onto your toes. Ready with me whenever you are. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So forwards and then onto the back. Forwards and then onto the back. Each time making sure that your core is sort of sucking up all the adjustments that your body's trying to make. That's how we keep it really strong and stable. So working through those shoulders and back. Pushing it through. Well done. We're nearly finished with this section. And then we're going to be picking up the weights. Keep it going. Well done. We've got 10 more seconds here. Good. So just keep working away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Finish the one that you're on. Whew. Okay, that's the first little section done. Well done. However you manage to do those, whatever number of them you manage to do, it doesn't matter as long as you're just moving your body positively. That's all you need to do. Okay. We're going to pick up the weights. And while we're doing the next set of exercises, I'm going to be talking to you all about bones and why it's important to use exercise to strengthen our bones up as well, because that is a super, super, super important part of your menopause and perimenopause journey. So, first exercise I'm going to show you, and then we're going to get cracking. So we're going to do a bent over row, which we've done in some of these sessions before. So, toes are facing forwards, slight bend in the knee, and then straight back, bending over, and we're just going to pull up and back down. If you find that position hard to stay stable into, you can hold on to the back of the sofa, back of a chair, you can hold on to a window if you want to as well, and you can stagger your feet. It's totally up to you. We're working into the back and into the core, so however you get yourself into that position, that's going to be really beneficial. We're going to go for 8 reps on each side with a straight swap. I'm doing a lot of talking today, I know that. I hope that you're all on it with the talking and the listening. Okay, so get yourself into position, push that bottom back nice and straight, and keep that chin away from chest. Head is neutral, you're not up here and you're not all the way down, so head is neutral. Ready to go, let's go for 8. So pull it up, down nice and slow on the down. Let's work on that eccentric. And 2, 3, good. 4, so I'm gonna get these first ones done. 5, so go at your own pace. 7, one more for me here. 8, we're going to do a straight swap over. Ready, let's go. So I'm using a 5 kilo here, which is actually quite a lightweight for this exercise. Use whatever you want to use. But what we're doing here is we're starting to add load into our skeleton. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is working on trying to make your bones more dense by adding additional load. One more here for me. And rest. Good job. 2 more of those to go. We're adding low reps with high volume, okay? So we're adding a heavier weight in with a lower rep, because that is going to really help to strengthen those bones. As you get to 40 and over, your bone density starts to decrease. And I don't want to be all here about saying you need to do this, you need to do that, and I don't want to scare anybody. But often, as we enter that perimenopause and menopause phase, we're so preoccupied with the hot flashes and the brain fog and everything else that's going on, all of the other physical symptoms, that we forget about all of the internal things that are happening that we have no actual feeling for. So let's go again for 8. So it's really important to make sure that whilst we're managing those physical symptoms, you're looking after yourself, because by the time you get to that magic menopause day, you know, you could have been in perimenopause for 10 years and you could have been working hard on loading up your skeleton. And this is really going to benefit you, because it's going to mean that you're at a lower risk of osteoporosis post-menopause when that estrogen has sort of gone. See ya, bye-bye. 2, 1, and switch sides. So loading through the skeleton is really important. It's a real preventative measure, and using exercise as a prevention is really great because it's free. Basically, you can do this from the comfort of your own home. Just pick up something heavy-ish that you can manage and load up that skeleton. Good. 2, 1. We've got 1 more lot of these to go. Hopefully you can feel that through the legs as well in that bent over position. Okay, hopefully. 1 more lot of these to go. We're not going to take an awful lot of rest. So weight bearing exercises are super good for your skeleton, for loading up your skeleton. Now, that doesn't mean you have to just come and just do loads of weights. You don't have to be in the gym, bicep curling, all the rest of it. Forget that. I mean, you can do that on my sessions with me. Let's go again for 8. But there are day-to-day functional things that you can do using your own body weight, as we did in the first portion of this session. You know, that is body weight, so you are bearing weight there. Cycling and swimming is great for cardiovascular, not so great for the weight bearing. So if you want to look after your heart and lung health, go for the cycling and the swimming, absolutely. But make sure, switch sides, that you are adding some additional weight bearing movement in there as well. Walking is good, running is better. You don't have to run if you're not a runner, that's fine, just loading up that skeleton. We're going to do some stamping later on, and that's going to really help. That's more effective than walking. And 1 more rest. Good job. Okay, I've talked all the way through that, so I'm just going to have a little break of talking about that for now. But please do send me any questions that you've got, because I am super passionate, obviously, as you guys already know, about all, you know, women exercising, making sure that exercise is accessible and meaningful and positive to us women. Right, we've got some T raises next. So you've got your palms facing me. I've got my palms facing you. We're going to be in a bent over position, and we're just going to bring those weights out to the side and back in. Okay, so palms are always out. If you want to do this without weights, you absolutely can. So palms facing, coming up to a T, straight across, and coming back down. 8 reps, that is our rep range for our menopause, working on human growth hormone rather than testosterone. Okay, ladies, you with me? Palms out facing me. Let's go. So up, slow on the back down. Up, slow on the return. 3, keep that bent over position. 4, good job. 5, working into that back and shoulders. 6, 7, 1 more. 8, finish the rep and rest. 1 more lot of these to go. So why are we working back and core today? Of all the things that we could be working, because, you know, in the perimenopause and the menopause, it's all about the belly fat, right? Well, kind of, yes, again, physical symptom. But when we're talking about fractures and osteoporosis, you're most at risk in the hips and the lumbar spine. So here, this part of your spine here. So by strengthening the bones there, by strengthening the muscles supporting the bones there, then you're going to really help yourself out. And adding muscle anywhere in your body is going to help to increase your metabolism. Let's go again. And burn off some of that stubborn belly fat, as I see it called on the internet all the time. 3. Good work. Keeping that bent over position. 4. Well done. 5. 6. It's really difficult to target a specific area for fat loss. It doesn't really work like that, unfortunately. I wish it did. 1 more. And rest. Well done. I wish it worked that you could just go, right, I want to get rid of this stuff here, so I want to just do loads of tummy exercises. But you're going to strengthen the muscles underneath, but your body will take from where it needs to take from. So you just have to trust the process and understand that the changes that you don't see are still really, really beneficial and they're still happening. That's really key. Standing twist next. So I've got my one weight, I've got my 3 kilo, my lighter weight here. I've got it out in front of me and I'm going to be twisting over and over. So I'm twisting over my straight foot, toes are facing forwards. I'm going to try and keep my hips as straight as possible facing you. Now I'm not going to be able to do that. They're definitely going to turn a little bit. But by holding into those muscles, I'm going to really help to strengthen those muscles and load into those hips as well. So, you ready to go with me? You can do this without the weight. You do not have to do it with the weight if you don't want to. Ready? Let's go. So twist and twist for 1, for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, watch that eye gaze, 7, 8, and rest. Good. So I find if I look at the top of my weight when I'm doing that, I go a bit woozy and a bit dizzy. So I always try and track my eye gaze along at the top, sort of above my weight. So I'm just sort of looking around, mainly looking around at what needs tidying or dusting as I'm doing that. I'm sure you feel me with that. Unless you're in the gym, in which case it's someone else's problem, not yours. Okay, ready to go again. We're going to do 2 more lots of these. These standing twists are super good for that lower back there, which also helps into the core. Ready to go again? Let's do this. Twist for 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 more, 8, finish that movement. 1 more lot to do. You can put your weight down each time. If you don't have a structured weight, like I said before, if you don't have a dumbbell, you can use a bottle of water, a tin of beans, an Amazon box, whatever it is that you've got that you can lay your hands on, that you're not going to hurt yourself or with as well, that's sturdy and stable. Anything from around the house, because quite frankly, these are functional exercises, which means that you can use these moves in life. That's just what that means. Ready to go again. 1 more time. Let's get for a little twist. Little twist and shout. No shouting required. Not compulsory. Let's go. 1, 2. Keep those hips straight forwards. 4. You see what the real difference that makes if you're starting to really hold those hips forwards. Really pushing them, keeping them straight. 2 to go. And rest. Good job. Okay, so give yourself a little shake out. Making the adjustments you need to make. Whip off a layer. Take a drink. We're going to go into our next exercise. We're away from the arms just for a moment. This is a body weight exercise, and I promised you stamps. So if you feel like having a little tantrum, this is the time to harness your inner toddler. My inner toddler is never far from the surface, I have to admit, but this is a really great way to just get out a bit of aggression. So you're going to stand towards the edge of your workspace with some workspace in front of you, and you're just going to step forwards and stamp, okay? Then from down here, you're going to go again, stamp, stamp. Each time making sure you're putting your whole of your foot into the floor. You're not just toes. And when I say stamp, I mean stamp. Really go for it. Really push some of that force up into those bones, okay? This is going to be really good. This is a good piece of impact work without any jumping, without any bounding, so you don't have to worry too much about that pelvic floor, okay? Because I know it's a concern, and it is a legitimate concern. So let's get on with the stamping. We're going to stamp 8 on each side. We're going to go forwards for a stamp, and then we're going to stay on that side and keep stamping. If you need to hold on to something while you're doing that, that's absolutely fine. So same side, ready to go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So stamp, stamp, stamp. 4, you should be able to hear your stamps. 5, 6, 7, 8. Coming back up. Like that, yeah? Like a little bit stampy stampy. It's good, isn't it? We're going to go to the other side. Short and sharp, and it's over nice and quick. Ready? Let's go. So stamp, stamp. 3, 4, 5. Whole of your foot. 6, 7, 8. And rest. Good job. 2 more of those to go. The cat is sat in the garden under the trampoline, hiding in the long grass, looking at me like, what are you doing? And you know the way that cats have that expression? She's just like, but you know, we know why we're doing it. That's important. I'm not going to take the judgment from the cat today. This is just not going to happen. Right, ready to go on the other side. 3, 2, 1. Let's get stamping. Stamp, stamp. Good. And that's 8. Finish the one that you're on. If you're counting yours as well, make sure you try and get to 8 if you can, or whatever you can do. Other side. Let's go. And push it back up. One more lot. Well done. You can sort of feel a little bit of fizzing in the legs. That's just the impact. That's okay. As long as you don't have any pain, you're all good. We're just adding that in. Your bones are really reactive. They like being used. They do. They like it. There's always a process in your body of regeneration and breakdown happening all of the time. So there are little cells that come and break down bits of bone, and there are little cells that come and make up little bits of bone. And those are osteoblasts and osteoclasts, and they come in and they break down, repair, break down, repair. The more you use, the more they're used, the more they're stimulated, the happier your bones are. Ready to go. Little science lesson there for you. Ready to go. Let's go. 2, 3. Real stamp here. 4. And push it back up. Other side. Ready? Let's go. And rest. Well done. So, 20 minutes into the session, you guys are doing so well. Hope you're enjoying it today. Okay. Whew. It makes my skin a little bit itchy when I do those stampy stamps. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go for one of, it's a favorite with the Strength and Steel. The Strength and Steel? That's not my brand name. The Strength and Bloom. It's a favorite with the Strength and Bloom community. The hand walkouts. It's an absolute favorite. Everybody loves it. If you don't like it, then you're obviously in the minority. Okay, I know it's not a favorite, I know. But we're gonna just add some extra little bits into this one. So, standing to the edge of your workspace, you're gonna fold forwards, you're gonna walk down into your bridge position. From here, you can drop to your knees if you want to, or just push yourself down to the floor, okay? Then you're gonna come in for a back extension, use the feet if you want to, just the upper body if you prefer. Push yourself either back up into a box or back up into your bridge, and then walk it back, okay? stand, roll the shoulders back, feeling smug, 7 more to go. Okay, so 8 in those in total. Really work on form. It's not all about pace on this. I know when we do our benchmarking, it's about pace, but today it's about form. So we're gonna go slow. Ready, with me. Go to the level that you can go to. If you can't manage all of the steps, don't worry. The back extension is important though, okay? Ready? Let's go. So folding forwards. If you need to bend the knees there, that's absolutely fine. Pushing down nice and slow. Coming into your back extension, feet off if you want to. Pushing back, up into bridge, use your knees. Heels come down, whether you have got a bent leg or a straight, roll those shoulders, okay? That's 1, we're going again. I feel like you're all swearing at me right now, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it's not always what you like doing is what you need to do. Okay, so that's just the way it is. This is a tough love approach, I'm afraid to say. When I wrote this down, I thought, oh no, I'm gonna get some flack for this on the live. I just know it. Holding into that extension, pushing back up. It's a really good little exercise combo, this one. 3 exercises in one, basically. Down again, and we're halfway. Pushing down. Take the elements that you can. If you struggle with any part of these exercises, take the elements that you can do and just knit those together instead. There's no real rules when it comes to just making variations, as long as you've got good form. Just stitching things together is absolutely fine to do. Well done. Let's go again. 2 to go. Push it down. Extension. If you use the legs as well, you're going to get into those leg muscles too. The more muscles you use, the more energy you're using. So you kind of want to use as much as possible, really. Back down for the last one. Down we go. Extend. Push. Up. Walk it back. Roll the shoulders. Feel smug. Well done. Walk it off. That one always makes me sweat so much. When we do it slower. When we do it slower, I get more tired. But we all know why that is. Right. We're going to do some sumo stamps now. Again, just channeling your inner diva. Outer diva. I don't know. It's up to you. I don't know. Whatever you prefer. We're going to come into a sumo squat, so the toes are facing outwards. So we're really getting into those inner thighs. This is so good for the inner thighs. So nice and wide on the squat. Turn the toes out. We're going to sink down into the squat. And you're going to raise one side, stamp. Raise the other side, stamp. Keep going like that all the way through. We're going to go for 30 seconds. If you find it really difficult to stay down and you find yourself coming up each time, then you can stamp, stamp, come up, go back down, okay? Because staying down is part of this exercise. We do want to be putting load through the bones, but we also want to be making those muscles work hard, because the bones and the muscles are a team. They are a team. They can't have one without the other. So, ready? Sink it down, toes are out, tummy is tight and shoulders are back. Chin's away from chest. The smile's on the face. Ready? Let's go. So stamp, stamp. If you need to come up to be able to stay down, if you know what I mean, then that is all good by me. Stay low. Good. If you're feeling a bit of inner thigh burn tomorrow, you know who's responsible. This bad boy. Okay, not me. I'm not responsible. It's this one. It's this exercise. Stay low. Good. Is it working its magic for you yet? 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk it off. Walk it off. Good. You might want to have a little march around. Just get that blood flowing through, flushing out those toxins. Good, good, good. Okay. We're going to do it again, obviously. We don't ever do anything just once because, you know, the brain likes practice. Then it can make progress. Also important to help the brain fog situation, is to use the brain. So feels kind of wrong, but just challenging your brain, making your brain work is really important, just keeping that brain young. I know it's really frustrating when you can't think of something and you can't recall something, but just trying to use your brain in a different kind of way will really help to keep you focused, okay? And using your brain for physical movement is really important. So sinking down again, toes are out, chin, shoulders, tummy, ready, let's go. Stamp, 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 and stamp. Now I know a lot of you on the live have been away on holiday. We've had a 2-week little hiatus while I've been away. So you're all doing amazingly, because I know not all of you have been working out throughout that time, and that's absolutely fine. You can have a break, everyone's allowed a break. So you're all doing really well. Keep it going. Well done. And rest. Good job. Okay. We're going to whip back round. Remember that one, the T raise. We're going to come back for 2 more of those in your bent over position. I'm using my light weight, my 3 kilo weight for this one. You can go as light as you like, okay? 3 kilos is light-ish. For me, it's just manageable, which is why I know it's the right weight. For you, that might be 2 kilos, 1 kilo, 500 grams, whatever it is. It doesn't matter, it's just a number. It's how your body reacts, okay? That's what's important. There is literally no judgment, okay? And there never should be. Palms facing me. Show me your palms. Get in that bent over position, okay? A little bit like a duck. Nice straight back, push that bottom back. And let's go for 1, 2, good, 3, 4, well done, 5, they're like graceful birds on the live, 6, beautiful, 7, and 8, good job everybody. 1 more lot of those. We are nearing the end of the session. I know. Good job, huh? You're doing really well. We got a few little stretches at the end just to get ourselves properly into that back. But we've got a couple more exercises to go. Don't panic. It's not over yet. Don't stop concentrating just yet. We're going to go again. Get that bent over position. Really holding tight to that tummy, shoulders and chin. Eye gaze is looking down. You're not looking up. Eye gaze is looking down, palms out facing me, and let's go. Push it up for 1, 2, 3, doing so well, 4, 5, beautiful ladies, 6, 7, 1 more, and 8. Good job. Yes. Okay. Remember that first weighted exercise that we did? It was a bent over single arm row. Well, we're going to go back to that, but now our bodies are super warm, probably just tipping over the edge into slightly exhausted. We're going to take both weights. So you're just going to be loading up with the side that's not working, and we're going to go alternate. So we're going to row and then row. So from the front, let me show you. You're going to just row and row. Now, we're going to be doing 8 on each side. If you found it really difficult to balance and you needed to hold on to something last time, just do 8 on one side and 8 on the other side, okay? And still hold on to whatever you need to. This is just to go back through and just reinforce that bit of muscle, okay? So you don't have to worry if you can't do it exactly the same as me. Doing anything is better than doing nothing. Okay, ready to go. Let's do this. So 1, 2, 2. Good. Nice and slow. Halfway. Good. This is 7. And 8. 8. Take a rest. I've got the sweat dripping off me today. Honestly, it must be very warm in here. The house has still trapped all the heat from summer, even though it's decidedly autumnal outside today where I am. I've got the upper lip sweats going on. It's all here. It's all here joining the party. Okay, dripping down onto the mat. So attractive. Ready to go again. This is better when I used to use my smaller room. Some of my lovely live ladies will know this. When I used to use my smaller room back in the day when I first started doing these live sessions, my husband used to go in there and be like, "Oh, can you open a window?" But now I use the bigger room. It's better. It can all dissipate a little better. I think you all know what I'm talking about. Ready to go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. I'm just keeping it real. There's no point in trying to pretend that us women don't sweat. Because we do. Some of us sweat quite a lot. I only have to see my weights and my body reacts. I'm like Pavlov's dog. Good. Keep it going. One more each side. And let's rest. Well done, everybody. I hope your arms are singing you a happy tune, as well as your back and shoulders. You may not initially feel it into the back and into the shoulders, and that is fine. It's fine if you don't actually feel it at all. You may just be feeling it in the arms, you might feel it in the legs, whatever. It doesn't mean that those muscles aren't being used. It doesn't mean those muscles aren't working. And as we were saying before, it doesn't mean the bones aren't being used. So, lost my thread. Okay, so what we're going to do is just going to hinge forwards, and we're going to stretch out those hamstrings at the back and just work into our lower back here as well. So I've just got my hands placed onto my thighs here, but I'm not pushing. And I'm just finding the point at which my hamstrings, the back of my thighs there, just starts to pull. I'm just going to hold here, and then I'm going to tip back up. Keeping my back really nice and straight. Just imagine you've got sort of like a skewer through the hips. So your hips aren't moving backwards and forwards. You're just pushing down. Keeping that back nice and straight, and you can feel that pulling all the way up through both sides, supporting the spine. Hold for as long as comfortable. That may be 5-10 seconds, that may be 30 seconds. Coming back up for one more. So you can do these, take your time to do these. There's no right or wrong amount of time you can do these for. If you want to develop your stretchiness, your flexibility, you can do them for up to 60 seconds. That was what we would call a developmental stretch. But if you just want to stretch out, 10 seconds is around about right. That would be our maintenance stretch. Good job. Okay, and then coming back. So standing up, feet facing forwards, just tipping back. You're going to get far less movement here as you do, but just tipping back, head comes back. Make sure you can breathe freely as you can. Make sure you are breathing. Remember, holding muscles doesn't mean holding your breath. Coming up to neutral, nice and slow. One more time then. Folding back. I always think I'm going really, really far, and then I watch my recording and I'm like, oh, it's like a centimetre. But that's okay. That's just my flexibility. Yours may be really different. And coming back up. Okay, we're going to go back to that first stretch that we did, so that W stretch. So just bringing those arms into the right angle, and then pushing out the fingers and pulling in. Hold. Out, in, hold, and squeeze. So really working on the shoulder blades together and down. Not just together, but together and down. Okay, that's what the W stretch is really great for that. Good. And then out. Hello. And then in. Marcus decides to join me. She's no longer watching me with disdain. Out and in. Good. Well done, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for this session today. That's right, the session is done. You've done really, really, really well. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed the session. Please do subscribe, like, all the good stuff. Leave me a comment, and I look forward to seeing you at the next one. Bye-bye.